All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing somewhat of a dead updates type of video for today. In this one, we're going to go over that recent Fear the Walking Dead death. It sounds like Garret Dillahunt did in fact want to leave. Alright, so it was about time for another Walking Dead video after this weekend's episode. Just been a bit busy. Sorry guys, haven't done too many this week, but we're going to be getting a new episode of Fear the Walking Dead this weekend, so pretty excited to see that. Or I guess technically it would be tonight, right, if you have AMC Premiere, AMC Plus, which I feel like I think most people nowadays do have it that are fans of Walking Dead, because it kind of feels like to me, at this point, most of the people watching Walking Dead are like the hardcore fans. I feel like there's not too many casual viewers still watching it due to its run length and everything. Like everybody who's into it, has been into it for a while, considering they've done so much of it. So, Fear the Walking Dead's mid-season premiere, which is the 8th episode because they cut the first half after 7 episodes. The Door premiered on the weekend. We've waited a little while now. Didn't want to spoil things for people. But now it's finally time for us to give our thoughts on the John death, and we got some new information, which is what I was leaning to if you guys watch my review or if you join the live streams. And that is that I did think that most likely John, spoiler warning, being killed off in this episode of Fear the Walking Dead was most likely because Garret Dillahunt, who plays him, most likely wanted to move on. And it sounds like I was correct. That was the case. That is the case. That he did actually want to leave Fear the Walking Dead. So there are some interviews. I'll put the info in the description, link in the description. A bunch of different websites have it, but basically, in speaking to Entertainment Weekly, we'll go through what he said exactly. But he approached the producers at some point during season 5 about an exit strategy. So if you guys remember, John came into Fear the Walking Dead and the Walking Dead universe in the 4th season of it, when they sort of did the switch over. They went from kind of the cast and crew, the Clarks, before. We saw, spoiler warning, the death of Nick. We saw sort of the death of Madison, and we'll see if we'll see a return. Everybody's still kind of calling for Madison to return in Fear the Walking Dead, which I hope they do at this point, because it sounds like a lot of people would really, really want to see that. But then we did sort of this soft reboot, or the way they kind of went with that season. And so he premiered in the season with Morgan, kind of bringing him into, was he not the first character that Morgan sort of met in the Fear the Walking Dead universe that kind of bridged the gap between the Walking Dead Season 8's finale, when Morgan leaves after All Out War. He comes into Fear as he kind of tries to run away from the things that he has done, and he meets John along the way, our famed trick shooter, who is certainly cool when you see him. He's kind of similar in some ways to Rick, but a much better shot, and kind of is more maybe easygoing, that type of thing. And not to say that he's simple or anything, but he's sort of like a go with the flow kind of person. We even find out later that he was a police officer as well, before the zombie apocalypse had started. And so it sounds like he was there for all of season 4. He was doing season 5. And it sounds like at that point that there were conversations about how John would exit. So Garret said, quote, "I don't remember exactly when, but it's something we've been talking about since season 5. And then we had a lot of conversations between 5 and 6 about how John would exit. And they came up with this great idea, great and tragic and wonderful and believable in this world, for how to get him off the show, how to kill him off, right? And at the same time propel the story forward. So you say you were talking about it back during season 5. I remember during season 4 when Frank Delane wanted to move on and leave the show. So they worked that into the story. Other times it's a creative story decision. that ends someone's tenure. So what was the backstory in terms of you and your character leaving the show? He says, well, I don't think it's a secret or anything. It's a little bit of both of those things. I love my time on the show and will always cherish it. I get a little antsy after a while, and I'm not a kid anymore. I have some things I wanted to do, and I'm just fortunate it worked out. So it sounds like that's really just what he wanted to do. That's his decision. He wasn't really in the series for that long, but he did have a good number of episodes. He's going to be in Army of the Dead. There's a new trailer for that as well. Looks very cool. I didn't know they were going to have a zombie tiger in it. And smart zombies, which are, they're almost like vampires. Anyway, maybe we'll give our thoughts on the new trailer. It's trailer 2 for Army of the Dead. So I don't see him in there unless he's playing a zombie or something. I'm not sure. But Garret Dillahunt, that is. So it sounds like he decided he wanted to move on. They can accommodate. That's not a... that's not for someone to leave. Walking Dead is not difficult for them to do. Basically, they just kill you off. But then they did ask him about being a zombie. So they said a lot of people die in the world of The Walking Dead, but not all of them get the zombie treatment. You did. What was filming that scene like? So Garret said, we'd filmed most of 608 pre-pandemic. It was the episode we were shooting when we were shut down. We were just 2 days short of finishing it, and what we owed was that portion, the crawling out of the river, and June lovingly putting John out of his misery and preserving her memory of him. So we shot that in October, I think, somewhere around there, late fall after they opened things up a bit. So it was a bit more than a year that we've had to sit on this secret. Well, they kept it under wraps pretty good, right? Considering I didn't hear anything about it. It wasn't leaked or anything like that, like a lot of the older Walking Dead stuff was. If you guys don't know, Shane's death was leaked. They put it on they accidentally put it on the Blu-ray before the episode aired, that it was going to be Shane's last episode. So they put in the Blu-ray description that basically that Shane was going to die. Before the episode was released on TV. Big time screw up, right? It's like early days Walking Dead, right? They just didn't have it all down yet, but now they do. So wow. So he actually had to wait all the way through the pandemic to film the zombie part of himself dying. Now that's tough, man. To have to wait on that and have to that you're leaving and everything, but that you have to go back and do the zombie scene and then finally you can go. That's really kind of crazy to think about, right? Almost psychologically it would mess you up. And they asked him what was it like playing a zombie. He said, I didn't have to do much because he literally probably just turned seconds before. Yeah, he just he washes up and then he just basically looks up to reveal. It reminded me somewhat of like the Merle reveal, if you guys remember, when he's chowing down on Ben, right? Something like that, but up the river and that. So I was pretty, I was surprised by it. I didn't expect to see him dead there. I thought he would survive. I didn't think they were killing him off even up until the scene. And even once we saw him as a zombie, it took me 5 minutes to realize they had just killed him off. It was pretty surprising, right? It looks like Michael Satrazemis directed that episode. So he's one of the best directors for Walking Dead. Happy they're using him for Fear because it just makes Fear even better. So that, it's basically, at this point in time, I pretty much say Fear and the original Walking Dead are basically, I think they're the same in terms of quality. I don't think you can really say that Fear is inferior in quality to the original Walking Dead. It's the same as far as I'm concerned. Sometimes even better because they have a lot of characters, and sometimes it feels like the original series doesn't have as many. So that's what it was, right? And now there was another. So let me know what you guys think about that one. Leave your comments below about Garret Dillahunt, about John. I liked seeing John in the series a lot. He was one of my favorite new additions to the Fear crew once the post-Madison type era, the more during the Morgan era of Fear. John was one of my favorite new additions. I like Althea. I like some of the others they've added on too. But I have to say, is John my favorite of the add-ons recent? Maybe he is or was. So I'm going to miss seeing him in the show because he is a lot of fun. You have June there as well too. Don't know what kind of things are going to be like for her going forward, considering she had that relationship with John and everything, and she may be facing some serious guilt after the decision where they go separate ways. and she sort of chooses her career. She chooses to help people over being with him. That's kind of tragic for her to have to kind of deal with. So we'll see going forward in subsequent episodes if she is dealing with a lot of guilt, possibly even suicidal thoughts, this kind of thing, because she could have been with John, and if she was, then most likely this would not have happened, or the sequence of events would have been different. So she may be dealing with a lot of maybe trauma from that. Now, there is also one, too, which is pretty good to see, and it says that Fear the Walking Dead has no plans to cross over with The Walking Dead for its final season. So this is one to add in here as well for you guys, that for a long time, there have been a lot of different kind of fan theories and whatnot, that we might see a crossover between the Fear group and the original Walking Dead group. We sort of did see one with Morgan, kind of, because he crossed from one into the other, and Dwight as well. So that's about as much of a crossover as we're going to get. But it sounds like there are no plans to have, at least from what they're saying, to have the Fear group ever kind of cross into the original Walking Dead series. And considering now that they're filming the final season of the Walking Dead TV series, it's not going to happen unless we see it in the movies or we see it in a spin-off. As far as titles are concerned, it's not going to happen in the original Walking Dead series. We're never going to see the Fear crew in the original Walking Dead series in that way. So it says The Walking Dead is kicking off its final 11th season in August. August 22nd is the date, if you guys don't know. If you're hoping for another potential crossover with spin-off Fear the Walking Dead, it doesn't sound like it's in the cards yet anyway. So, yeah, and then it goes into Andrew Chambliss and that. So basically, the original Walking Dead series is filming its final season. It's now or never. They're not going to do it, so it means it's not going to happen. It doesn't mean that we couldn't see some kind of crossover in the future if they do a spin-off or in the movies or something like that. That's possible, but we're not going to see that in The Walking Dead's runtime length. Now we'll do some questions from you guys, kind of comments after the episode, and certainly leave more below if you guys want for this weekend for the live stream. And I'll have the review of the new episode, episode 9, soon for you guys. We'll have to see how many episodes of Fear they got done for this second half. It'd be sweet if they got 9 done, but something tells me that 8 and then the 1. Something tells me that's probably not gonna be the case. Maybe another 6 or 7 or something. I guess we'll see. Scott Your Back said, anyone else see the Gimple effect rearing its ugly fat head again after the mid-season premiere of Fear the Walking Dead? So anytime anyone gets killed off in Walking Dead now, even if it's in Fear, it's Gimple's fault, right? That's basically the situation now, right? Donnie W said, Trev, we also found out that that it was Dakota saved Morgan at the Gulch. That was a huge discovery, too. She saw that he was the only one that could truly put an end to her sister. She is turning out to be more deadly than her sister. Moral for the Walking Dead franchises, don't give little girls weapons in the zombie apocalypse. Yeah, look at the flowers. So people, Charlie and now Dakota. So some people want to see Charlie take down Dakota. Be a weird fight, like a little girl fight or something. I don't know. Maybe it could be okay. Maybe she's like the only one who can, because all the adults won't do it, right? Like they're all going to be hesitant to do it, but maybe she's the one to do it, right? That would be able to. Morlock Meat, because she wouldn't hesitate, I don't think. Morlock Meat says, looks like it's time for Dakota to look at the flowers. Torrid said 6 out of 10, Trev. Come on, this was a great episode. I don't know, I gave it my rating. That's what it was. Was it better than that? Maybe. I guess I was just not certain how I felt about the Dakota twist. I may have to watch some of those episodes back if I get time to see how smooth the transition was and if it makes sense. But, when I first heard, I was like, what? Dakota did it? It's I don't know. I wasn't instantly sold on it right away. It wasn't clean enough. It wasn't obvious enough for me right away. I was a little bit I don't know if it fits. I had to question it. If I had to question it, I feel like it didn't fit exactly the way. And I see here that they planned it out since season 5, so it wasn't a short planned thing, but I don't know. Lobo GRYZ says, this is about time that Fear killed off a major character. Reminds me of season 3, where anyone could die at any time. Very well done. Yeah, it's true, but the thing is also the original Walking Dead series did that for a long time. And I feel like that's probably still the case, but it's not bad sometimes to pull the brakes a little bit with killing everybody off, because the original Walking Dead series, I feel like it killed off, I feel like over time they had so many character deaths that they killed off too many characters. And then once Michonne left and Rick left and Carl was dead, you know, it just, it made it so that your roster was too small. So you have episodes that are led by like Aaron and Gabriel, which nothing against them, but they're not Carl or they're not Glenn or they're not somebody that could really, you know, they can and they do as best as they can with them. But, you know, it just feels like they kill off almost too many. So sometimes it's whatever, you know, if you do more, it's more shock value and exciting and stuff and adds intensity. But if you do less, at least you're not worried about killing off so many that you don't have enough, or having to get Magna and her group over, meaning get them popular, and hasn't really worked and isn't really working. So it's not that easy to do to get new characters over. AOTD said, I'm calling it. Charlie will kill Dakota. Also, Madison will return by the end of the season. So that's good stuff. I hope to see Madison back too. A lot of people are calling for it, but don't know if that's going to be the case. You know, would think, I don't know. I said I don't think they're going to do it. Now I'm like, okay, maybe they will. But fan demand, Morales got to come back. So at least if she's going to come back, have her come back as a zombie or have her come back alive. Preferably alive, but if you can't do alive for whatever reason, I guess at least give us a zombie so at least we know that that's final right there, right? Leaving the, you know, like unknown there is difficult for us, right? You know, you're not sure. But Charlie to be the one to kill Dakota, it makes sense. And the last one from Justin Oak Tree Pick says, I only watch the Walking Dead series and don't read the comics. Does Negan turn bad again? What's going to happen? OMG, OMG, I need to know. So here's your answer. So, well, actually, it's not an answer. We don't know because they could do something different with the TV series. So is Negan going to turn bad again? He doesn't in the comics, but he's pretty much good from then on through the rest of the series as it ends off. But the TV series version could be different. There's no reason why it has to be the same as the comics. He kind of gives that smile when he gets back at the end, and that speaks to me that, like, oh man, you know, Negan is he's not. Maybe he is sorta, and he's certainly taking a chance being around Maggie and the others because she might lose it one day and shoot him or something. Maybe Herschel will do it or something. Be his first. Be like a Dakota. Herschel can do a heel turn like Dakota right now. I don't think so. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think. The John death. Leave comments below. How do you feel about it now? We can talk about it without worrying too much about spoiling things for people. If they haven't seen it now, they probably don't care too much, right? So that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys back in soon for another one. Thanks for watching everything, guys. We'll see you soon. This is Trav saying peace. Later, guys. See ya.